Are you willing to create and post content on a daily basis for 2 to 3 years without seeing any results? Are you willing to let go of friendships that don't align with your vision? Are you willing to work more than a full-time job for months or years without getting paid a full-time salary? People love the idea of having the dream, but are you actually willing to do what is required to get the dream? I think the beautiful thing about social media is that it shows people what's possible in this world. And it makes it also feel close and achievable. But at the same time, it's showing a wrong perspective of what the process actually looks like. They will tell you that just buy this e-commerce or dropshipping course and you will make all the money in the world within months. Just get into social media, get this personal branding course, you will have 1 million followers and you'll be living your dream life. They are promoting easy, fast, and comfortable. But this is the complete opposite of what the actual process looks like. And that's why I wanted to make this video, to share some hard truths about achieving your dreams, but also about winning. Because winning is ruthless. You might have a very tough life. You might be going through hardships. But the thing about winning is that it doesn't care about how you feel, the hardships that you're going through, the struggles that you're facing, how sorry you feel for yourself. Winning is not this compassionate friend that is taking care of you, that is supporting you, that is very graceful and gentle with you. When you start to feel sorry for yourself, when you start to give in to these feelings and you are way too tired, so you take a day off and you start resting, it will strip everything away from you. The more you give in to these feelings, you will decrease the likelihood of achieving success, but you will also decrease the skill and what the success even looks like in the first place. I've been practicing now the one-arm handstand for a long time. And this is a very difficult move to master. I don't just want to do it once. I really want to master all aspects of the one-arm handstand. Now, I've been injured for 5 months. So 5 months ago, I fractured something in my wrist. So within this period, I haven't been able to do any hand balancing exercises. What do you think happened to my progress? Of course, it's all taken away from me. It's not like a video game where you reach a certain level and all progress is saved. And when you pick back up the controller, you can continue where you left off. When you step away from the process, your progress is taken away from you. Life doesn't care about why you stepped away. And that's the hard thing about winning. Winning doesn't feel sorry for you. Winning doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about the injury that I have. I just have to start over again. The hard thing is that winning doesn't care about you, but you care about winning. And that's where another hard truth is: winning has to become a lifestyle. The process of achieving your dreams. This is not a one and done thing. It's not something you do once and you've achieved it. You have to become it. A lot of guys, when they talk about starting their own business, they share things like that their deep why is to work less hours. I want to be completely free. I want to work less hours, location freedom, time freedom, all of these things, which is a beautiful idea. But if you're only focused on the outcome, you are going to have a very hard time, because the process looks very different. You might be working 2 or 3 times as much as your current 9 to 5, with way more stress, with way more anxiety involved in the whole process. So if you're only focused on the outcome, you will have a bad time, because it is a complete lifestyle. It requires a different level of dedication. Again, the handstand example, when I started to train for the handstand for the first time, I did 3 times 30 minutes a week of handstand training on top of my normal training. And I thought I was on top of the world. I thought I was dedicated and committed. And of course, I created a lot of progress because this was the beginning stage. But when I reached a certain point where I could do most things on the handstand, I wanted to master every single aspect of that in the one-arm handstand. And then I realized that this requires a completely different level of dedication. So when I'm, by the way, talking about winning and these dreams, I'm not talking about these small little things. I'm talking about the dreams that you can't even imagine right now. And when I started to practice and train for the one-arm handstand, these 3 times 30 minutes, it didn't cut it anymore. I had to train 6 times a week for 90 minutes to 2 hours a day only focus on the one-arm handstand. I had to become it. It had to become a lifestyle. When you're focused on achieving your dreams, you have to be completely obsessed, immersed, absorbed by it. When you want to get in the dream shape of your life, you don't go to the gym a few times and you've created this dream physique. Similar to starting your business. You don't just quit your 9 to 5, send a few emails to prospects, and you have all the clients in the world. It doesn't work that way. It has to require a different level of dedication and commitment. And the question is, are you willing to create a whole lifestyle around the dream that you want to achieve? You have to become it. And that's where another hard truth is, you will give your life to this thing because you've been completely immersed and absorbed by it. But winning is not guaranteed. Success is not guaranteed. And this is a scary thought. And this is also why, if you're only focused on the outcome, you will have a hard time. Because this one can fuck with your mind, because you can outwork your competition. You can make all the sacrifices necessary, all the late nights. It doesn't guarantee success. This is what they won't tell you online, because this is not a sexy truth about achieving your dreams. It is not for everyone, and not everyone is going to achieve his or her dreams. What will increase the likelihood of you achieving your dreams is, of course, your dedication, your resilience, your consistency, being willing to go longer than most people. This will increase the likelihood of achieving your dreams. But you never ever have the guarantee. So this is where I believe you don't want to only play the external game. You want to internally commit to playing the game no matter what. To play the game for the sake of playing. You have to become a maniac when it comes to your workouts. You have to be willing to make the long nights to make the business a success, because this is who you are. This is the part that is necessary, I believe, to achieve your dreams. You have to become it. This is who you are. Which means, regardless if you achieve the outcome or not, this is how you want to be living your life. And there will be many moments where you start to question if it's all worth it. Maybe you could better give up. Maybe you can better choose for a certain safe and comfortable life. You will have all these thoughts and questions. There will be so many fears because it messes with your mind if you put in all the work and you don't see any results yet. It can mess with you. And that's why this process is not for the faint of heart. So when people are promoting like everybody can achieve their dreams, I think that's complete bullshit. I don't think this is for everyone. I don't think everyone can achieve their dreams. In the beginning of my coaching journey, I thought coaching is for everyone. Everybody can achieve their goals. Everybody can achieve their dreams. But the more I started to work in the space, the more I realized this is not for everyone. It requires a rare breed of individuals that is willing to go through all of this shit to achieve these things. And this is another hard truth that people don't talk about enough, is winning requires an insane amount of sacrifices. You're sacrificing security, you're sacrificing safety, you're sacrificing comfort. You're sacrificing relationships, all of these things to get the thing that you want. I remember when I was 15 years old, and this is when my life completely changed. I made my first big investment in a personal trainer. And this was 100 euros an hour, which was a lot of money back then. And I started to obsess over training. I worked out 5 to 6 times a week, all the meal prepping. I started to read books. I went to bed on time. I didn't go out anymore with my friends. So these were the sacrifices I was making. I didn't go out anymore. I didn't play the video games. I didn't drink alcohol. I sacrificed relationships to create the success in this area of my life. And the hard thing was, at that age, you want to fit in. Everybody was telling me, you're throwing away and wasting your youth. This is not what a 15-year-old is supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to go to the gym this much and meal prep and go to bed on time. You're supposed to have fun. This is what they will tell you. So I had to sacrifice a lot of relationships. I had to be willing to go alone for a long period of time, because my environment did not understand why I was so obsessed about this thing. Are you willing to make the sacrifices necessary to achieve the dream? This is one of the most important questions you can ask yourself, because if I would ask you, think about your dream. Do you want to achieve this? Do you want this? People will say, oh, yes, this is beautiful. I would love to achieve this. But if we look at all the sacrifices you would have to make to achieve this dream, are you willing to do this? Are you willing to receive all these judgments? Are you willing to be misunderstood by everyone? Are you willing to experience this deep sense of loneliness because no one understands you? Are you willing to work these long nights not knowing if it will give you any results, when or if you will ever experience results? Are you willing to push through all of these pains and hardships, constantly having to face all these problems that you need to solve, these high levels of stress and anxiety? And I can name so many things in the process of achieving these goals, all the rejections, the ways in you that you have to face yourself in this process. Like, this process is tough and it requires a lot of sacrifices. But when you are able to look at all the sacrifices and say, I'm willing to commit to this, it will make the process so much easier, because most people only commit to the dream and not to the process. And when they face all these unexpected things they have to sacrifice, it becomes way too tough for them. They're unable to process it. So if you make this, again, internal commitment, as in, this is who I am, I'm willing to make these sacrifices no matter what. I'm willing to do not what's easy and what's comfortable. I'm willing to do what is required to get the thing that I want. If you can make that internal commitment and move forward with that mindset, the process becomes a whole lot easier, because you expect hardships, you expect struggles, you expect the rejections and being knocked down and all of these things, because it is a necessary part of the process, which people don't sell you because you don't want to buy these things. If people are selling you the course, of course they are selling you the dream, but they don't sell you the hardships. But it is something that comes automatic with the whole journey. The last hard truth is that no one can relate to you. And this is one of the toughest one that I had to deal with in the beginning of my journey. Like I shared when I started to change my life at 15 years old. The amount of pushback that I got from my environment was extremely hard to work with. And this is one of the most common problems that I see that most of my clients face, that when they start growing and achieving all the success at a rapid pace, they outgrow their environment. They outgrow their family and their friends. And now they have a huge challenge, as in letting go of the old to be able to step into the new. Because people, they have this idea of you and they create this perspective of you, like, this is who you are. And when you start changing, it disrupts their pattern of you. And they think, why do you have to act so difficult? Why do you have to take things so serious? Why do you always have to change and grow? Why can't you never be happy and never be satisfied? Why don't you hang out with us anymore? And you get all these comments, and the challenging thing is, you start questioning yourself. Am I even doing the right thing? Maybe they are right, because you are the only one changing. And this, again, it can mess with your mind so much, because we want to feel like we belong. We want to be part of a community. But whenever we get pushback from the people that we care about and that we trust the most, we start questioning our own direction and our own dreams. So one of the hardest parts when it comes to winning is that you have to be willing to let go of a lot of people. You will outgrow a lot of people. You will have periods in your life where you go at it alone, because you will be letting go of the old, but you haven't fully stepped into the new yet. So there are some periods where it takes some time for new people to come into your life that align with your current stage and also ambition and obsession in your life. And if you care about your dreams and if you care about winning in life, this is something you have to be willing to do. Relating to these sacrifices, you have to be willing to sacrifice relationship to get the thing that you want, because it's going to be part of the process. I often use the metaphor of a hot air balloon, because you are the hot air balloon and you are blowing all this fire to go up even higher. But on the side of the hot air balloon are also sandbags that are keeping you in the same place or that are dragging you down. And the thing that you have to do is you have to cut holes into these sandbags to let the sand out. Sometimes it means cutting off the sandbags completely, because these are the things that are holding you back. These are the things that are dragging you down. And this is also part of the sacrifices that you have to make. Are you willing to be misunderstood? Because people will call you delusional, but it's only delusional because you haven't achieved the thing yet. Once you achieve the thing, people will say like, oh, you're so amazing, you're so resilient, you're all of these things. But in the process, when you haven't achieved these results yet, it's a tough one. Being misunderstood, being rejected, feeling like you don't belong. So these are some hard truths that you have to face when it comes to achieving your dreams. And I wish more people would talk about the hardships of the whole process and of all the things that you would actually experience, because it's amazing to see all the results, all the before and after pictures when it comes to losing weight and the businesses, how people lost all the money and made it all back. But what they are not sharing is the actual stress and the hardship and the anxiety that comes with it. Because when you are choosing the dream, this is what you're choosing as well. You are choosing the process. And you have to question and ask yourself that question. Am I willing and do I want to choose this process? Am I willing to go through this process to achieve the dream? And I don't believe it's for everyone. People will sell you that everyone can achieve their dreams. I don't think it's for everyone. But if you got to this point of the video, I think there might be some different kind of obsession and ambition inside of you. So this is the only thing that you know. Are you willing to do what is required to achieve the dream?